Welcome to the Feminine Truth Podcast with Miranda, a place where you can reconnect with your wild, cyclical, and fierce truth. I am Miranda, a mentor, guide, healer, and intuitive coach. I guide women on a journey of remembrance, reconnection, and embodiment of their inner feminine truth. Join me each week to tap into raw, unedited, and unfiltered sacred conversations to help women tap into their inner feminine truth to become bold, unshakable, and apologetic in who they truly are. Let's jump into today's sacred conversation. Welcome to another solo episode of the Feminine Truth Podcast. I just wanted to say something really quick before you actually listen to the episode. I tried getting rid of the background noise. I recorded this while I was driving because I felt something coming through me, and I just wanted to share some thoughts. So please disregard the background noise. I try so hard to clean it up and make the audio like smoother, but I don't know, it just feels a little annoying to me. It's driving me crazy, but I still wanted to put this episode out there because I really liked what I channeled through and what I said. So hopefully you get to enjoy it, and I am going to try my hardest because every time I drive, I get the biggest downloads and I just want to share things. And obviously, you're driving and it's so hard to do it. But I'm trying to find some microphone or something with noise reduction. So we're working on that. In the meantime, enjoy the episode. Welcome to another episode of the Feminine Truth Podcast with your host, Miranda. This is another solo episode where I just want to channel what's coming through me right now. And if you are currently going through a hard time, a life transition, or if it seems like you're always in the thick of things, you're always struggling, you're always getting into situations that are so hard and you don't understand why your life is not like a soft life, and you're always going through things. And maybe like you have a few days out of the month where you feel like a badass, you feel so energetic, and then the rest of the month you are going through something, you're struggling with something. I just want to tell you that you're not alone. And part of my path has been being able to accept that I am here to fulfill my soul mission on earth. And if you are very spiritual like me, or you are getting into spirituality and reconnecting with yourself, part of that is also understanding that our soul mission here on earth is very different than our human experience. And a lot of times things don't make sense, but when you think about it from the perspective that our soul reincarnated on earth and in our bodies to fulfill some type of karmic debt or some type of lesson, then things shift within you. Your perspective shifts within you, and you have a different intention whenever you're going through a hard time, a struggle. Your intention and the way you see things and experience things completely shifts and changes. And this is something that's happened to me. And I'm a life path 8, which is it's a hard path to walk through. And I'm also a 3-5 profile in human design. And if you're not familiar with human design, it is composed of like 5 different things, and which integrates astrology, the tree of life, and other things. But basically, I am here to go through things, experience like struggles, and it's just so hard for me to accept that I'm here to go through struggles, learn through them, lead myself through them in the most powerful way, in the most graceful and compassionate way that I can, learn the lesson and teach others what I have gone through. And when I tapped into that and I understood that I had this mission, that whenever I was going through something, and then I knew that at the end of that lesson or that journey, I was gonna come out wiser, I was gonna come out with this huge learning lesson that I can help others with, it completely changed my life and the way that I was moving through situations that were very painful and hurtful, and sometimes that I didn't deserve or that I didn't understand why I was even going through them. And this is one of the hardest things to realize, that a lot of times we don't understand why it's happening to us, and we beat ourselves up and we kind of land on this victim side of the situation, because sometimes it is very unfair that we're always going through shit and through things, and it's just not fair. How come things are not working out for us? And when you shift to this perspective that, okay, even though it's really hard for me to accept that I am here to learn lessons and go through difficulties, but at the end, I know that this is meant for me to become a better person. This is meant for me to heal some karmic debt or heal some shadow that I've been carrying either in this lifetime or either through my ancestors, or this is my parents or something. And it's not because we are doing the work for our parents, but maybe our parents, like, we chose our parents and our family of birth because we were supposed to go through some type of healing situation, healing some ancestral wounds, healing some type of um, situation, karmic debt, and it's like a generational cycle breaker. And when you understand that maybe you're the cycle breaker of your family, it really shifts your perspective when you are going through the situation. It does not minimize the pain, that it sucks, that it's painful, that you're frustrated, that you're angry, that you're rageful, but you are breaking generational cycles when you are the one doing the healing work. And this is something that I had to accept and own and understand and be okay with in my journey, that I am probably the cycle breaker of my family. I am the one that has been able to heal a lot of generational trauma, a lot of breaking the cycles, a lot of things that are not in alignment with how I was brought up, with my upbringing. I'm a first generation Latina. I was brought up from Mexico. So I also carry a lot of trauma and feminine lineage and paternal lineage from my ancestors. And there's also part of colonization. There's also part of, like, so many things that I have to face and heal. And also, there's this other dynamic of how I landed in toxic, emotionally abusive relationships and attracting men that were emotionally unavailable, ghosted me, not treated me, didn't treat me right. And when I understood that the way my feminine lineage operated, I was able to understand the dynamic of the women in my family and what role they played in partnerships and in relationships. And I was also able to understand that how my upbringing connected the dots to the men that I was attracting. And also, and what is the most important thing, that I was not taught or showed how to love myself, how to have standards, how to know my true values. I was programmed and conditioned based on the values of my family, of my mom, of the women in my feminine lineage, and also the women in my paternal lineage, in both lineages, the women. And their way, I never saw anyone truly love themselves. I never saw anyone put themselves first. I never saw anyone that was very empowered. I never saw women that were owning who they are, their truth, that stood up for themselves. I never really saw that. My mom is a very strong woman, and I truly admire her now, and I understand why she was the way she was, and also my grandma and everything. And I am so thankful that they are part of my lineage and I came from them. But at the same time, part of my journey has been to heal the feminine wounding, the sister wounding, the mother wounding, the wounding with two of my grandmas, especially my paternal grandma, and being able to redefine what a woman is for me, for myself, and my own identity. So that's what I'm trying to say. I was able to finally get and understand and be rooted in my true identity of who Mary Miranda is. Because I was always basing who I was in what I grew up with, my conditioning, my programming, the good girl, the Catholic. And I still have trauma from my religion. I still have SA trauma that I need to heal from. So there's still things that I'm still working on in order to own my sexuality and my sensuality and tap into that part of myself, because there's still a lot of shame, and everything is tied down to Catholicism and the trauma that comes with it, and being shamed and pleasure and so many other things. So I'm still on that journey. But when you understand where you are also coming from, and that you are probably the cycle breaker of your family or the black sheep of the family, and that maybe you are given all these lessons and all these situations because you are the one that has the power to change the course of your lineage, and you are the future ancestor of the future generations that come from you or that stem from your family, like your immediate family, your sisters. I don't have children. I'm child free by choice. And this is one of the things that I struggle the most, because I did not want to bring a child into this world because of how I grew up, because what I'm still healing from my own parents. And I made the decision that I did not want to have the responsibility of bringing up a child into the way the world is today. And I cannot bear a child healing from me as a parent. And I am doing the inner work. I own everything. I take full responsibility and accountability whenever I still have patterns to work through. I still have things that I'm not proud of, and I'm still healing things. But I cannot bear the thought of a child having to heal from me as a parent. So I made the conscious decision, and it's also not something that I ever wanted. I've never dreamed of being a mother. I've never seen myself pregnant. Like I've never even thought of me wanting children. So it's never been a part of me. But society conditioned me that because I'm a woman, and the way that I was brought up, also my culture and society together and religion, made me believe that I was here to be a wife and a mother. And I know I am not. I'm divorced now. So I know that being a wife was not aligned with me, especially within that marriage that I had. Maybe one day I will find someone that I'm in alignment with and that I can be okay with the word marriage. But right now, I'm not in alignment with the institution of marriage at this point. I'm child free by choice. I'm single by choice. I'm owning who I am. And I have to be okay that I'm the disruptor of my feminine lineage, and what it means to be a woman in my upbringing, in my society, in my culture, and be seen as weird, as an outcast, as why don't you have children? Why don't you want to get married? And be judged and criticized. It's also part of this path, part of this journey. And as hard as it seems sometimes to handle criticism and judgment, I was able to stop caring what people thought of me. And I was brought up in a small town in Mexico where everybody knew each other, everybody had nicknames for each other, and your reputation can be so ruined. Just think about that Netflix show, The Bridgerton. It was basically a very similar upbringing that I had. And when I know that I'm okay with people judging and criticizing me and creating a version of me in their heads of who they think I am, I have to be okay with that, because not everybody's gonna like me. Not everybody's gonna like you. We are not here to be liked by everyone, but the people that resonate with us are going to truly be in our lives, and the ones that don't, we should not care what they think, because we are not here on this path to please those people. We are not here to seek their validation and approval. We are here trying to fulfill our soul mission. And our soul mission, as hard as sometimes can seem, it is meant for us to learn, to grow, evolve, and to be our best versions. And like I said, if you are like me, that it always seems like you are in the midst of it, you're always in this hard situation, when you look at it from this perspective, that maybe you are the one, the disruptor of your family. Maybe you are the one that's changing the lineage of your family. You are creating a new paradigm for the future, for your future generations. So you are the role model, or I guess the ancestor that maybe your nieces or your daughters are gonna look up to, and your nephews and your sons if you have children. For me, it's I have 4 little girls and I have 2 little boys that are looking up to me one day. I am their auntie. So I do have a duty as an auntie to be the best role model that I can within the boundaries that also my brother and my sister and my ex-sister-in-law can allow me to, because I am not going to sit here and instill beliefs and all of that into my nieces and my nephew. No, I'm just here living my life. I'm here to be my best version, and I'm here to break the cycles, and I'm here to be a different type of woman than what I was brought up with, and the feminine lineage and my paternal lineage. And I am proud of that. And if one day my nieces want to connect with my content, my podcast, and they can learn from it, then I would be so happy. But it's never going to be me going to them and teaching them on all these things without, because I also have to respect the boundaries of my brother and my sister, because they have different belief systems that I do. But if they ever come of age, that they are curious and they come to me and they talk to me, then I would be so happy to teach them everything that I know. And I feel like a lot of the things that I do is not only so women don't struggle with everything that I have struggled with, and it's for me inevitable to save people. I'm not here to save anyone, but I am here to teach you and show you how I have led and healed myself through situations. So maybe if you are going through that situation, it's going to lessen the amount of time that you do the healing work. It's going to help you, maybe prevent you getting into those situations, or it's going to help you move through those situations with more grace, compassion, understanding. And for me, it's okay, I am doing this work, I'm showing up powerfully, and one day my nieces and my nephew are going to see my content, and maybe they are not going to go through everything that I have gone through. They are my why. They are my priority whenever I envision my life and what I desire for my life. I always have my nieces and my nephew, especially my eldest niece, Bella. She is my priority. She is my world. She is my why, because she's the eldest and she is 11 at this point. And I know that everything that I'm posting is for her to never go through what I have gone through. And if I can teach her from now, and she has, the most amazing thing is that she has seen me love myself. She has seen me taking care of myself, prioritizing myself, the way that I show up. She has seen so much and witnessed so much that she knows what it means to love yourself. She knows what it means to have standards, values. And that is not something that I kind of learned or anyone taught me. Yeah, my mom would be like, oh, you have to love yourself. But I was never taught. Nobody ever taught me how to do it. And when you are young, like, you have to be taught how to love yourself, how to prioritize yourself, how to put yourself first, to avoid getting into toxic relationships, to avoid people mistreating you. You have to learn all those things, and I did not learn all those things. So for me, it's like, if I'm going through all of this so my niece doesn't go through that, or other women, then I am so happy, and I am able to be more kind and compassionate whenever I go through situations, because I know someone out there is going to connect with my story and my journey, and maybe it's gonna help them in one way or the other. But for me, my niece is my priority, is my why. I'm here to teach her and show her different, and if that is my mission and the reason why I'm going through everything that I'm going through, then trust me, my journey is worth it. And if you are on this journey, always questioning, beating yourself up, wondering, we all have those moments. And we also have to have those moments where we honor our emotions, the rage, the injustice, unfairness, like why is this happening to me. We are allowed to have those victim little glimpses during our emotional outburst. But once we are over that, once our emotions pass and our feelings settle and we feel more grounded, we are able to shift into a thriver mindset. We are able to use our cognitive functioning and our rationality and logic and understand, okay, even though the situation sucks, even though it's really hard for me to understand and accept the reality that I'm in right now and that I'm in this situation, I know that this is going to make me a better person. I am already a good person. I'm already amazing, but this is going to show me a new lesson that I need to learn. Maybe this is going to help me heal a core wound, a shadow, a karmic debt, or something of some sort. And this is helping my soul fulfill their mission on earth. And this is going to help someone out there. So once you shift from to this mindset and see that situation differently, you are going to be able to move through the situation more powerfully, more graceful, and have more compassion. Because when we are in the midst of the situation or whatever you're going through, it is really hard to understand why we are again in that place, why we are constantly going through things. And you are allowed to have your emotions and your feelings and to throw a tantrum. But once you're over that, once your logic returns, once you are in a window of tolerance that you can understand and see things from a different perspective and your logic is back, you are going to be able to move through it differently and more powerfully. And one day you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe like I was beating myself up for that, and now I am on the other side of this and I can see the silver lining, and I am so thankful in a way that I know I didn't deserve that situation and what that person did to me or what I went through, but I know somehow it was meant for me and for my journey and to heal some type of generational trauma, breaking a cycle or something of some sort. And I understand that it's really hard to get to that place of logic and rationality and seeing it from that perspective, but it's going to get to you. It's going to get to you. And it's a process. A lot of times we have to go through the phases and the roller coaster of the ups and downs and not accepting reality. But once you go through that whole and pass that emotional roller coaster, you are going to be able to come back to center and have a more wisdom and understanding why you are going through that situation. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you, empower you to see not the light at the end of the tunnel. We don't need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We just need to see the light and the next step forward. And sometimes you just need to see the next step forward and move the needle just a little bit, just like a few angles. You don't even have to move the needle 90 degrees, 180 degrees. Maybe it's just 10 degrees. 10 degrees. That's all you need. Maybe it's just 1 degree. And that's all you need. You just need to empower yourself sometimes while also honoring the emotional mess that sometimes the situation bring up in us. Let me know if this helped you. Send me a DM. I really hope this resonated with you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation on the Feminine Truth Podcast. This podcast is for you, for me, for us, for the Feminine Collective. Thank you for spending your time and energy with us. I so appreciate it. Please, it would mean so much if you could share this in your Instagram stories, in your Facebook stories, or everywhere, so this message gets spread and others can find this podcast and this conversation. And if you feel like someone needs to hear this message, please share with them. I would be so grateful for you, and let us know your thoughts, how this has helped you, how you connected with this topic, or how this has felt in your body. And lastly, if you feel the pull, I would be immensely grateful if you could take the time to leave a review so more people can find my podcast and this conversation. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you on the next episode.